Hello and welcome to SmartPayCart. My name is Beena Prashant. I'm the creator of this plugin. SmartPayCart, fondly known as SPC, is a shopping cart plugin for WordPress. Today I'm excited to let you know that we have just released an amazing new checkout page customizer in SPC. SPC already had a checkout page customizer, but we have now taken it to a completely new level. Now, before I take you behind the scenes to show you what the new drag and drop checkout builder looks like, I want to show you what I created using the new SPC template. So you can see here, this is a 2-column layout. I am using the new SPC template, and you can add whatever elements you want on your checkout. So this is what I am using, and you can create your own layout based on what you want and in the order you want. If you want, for example, if you want coupon code right before your order details, you can just drag and drop it here. If you want order bump somewhere else, say at the top of your checkout, you can just move it to the top of your checkout. And not just that, now this is the desktop view. And by default, mobile view is going to be the same as the desktop view. However, if you want to create a completely different look for your mobile and not have so many elements in your mobile view, you can get rid of it, or you can add completely different message, completely different elements. You can create a completely different look for your mobile users. So now let me take you behind the scenes to show you how easy it is to create a checkout that looks like this, or even better, because you can fully customize the look based on your specific needs and the template that you like. So this is the manage checkout page in SPC. I'm going to click on add new checkout page to add a new checkout. So I'm going to give the checkout page a name, create, next, PayPal and Stripe. I want to offer both on my checkout. 1 step, 2 step, there are different options. I'm going to select 1 step, and there are several templates. Now you can see here, this is a new template. We didn't have this before. So this template, the first template in the 1-column template section, the first template in the 2-column template section, both of these now support drag and drop feature, meaning you can drag and drop different types of elements onto the checkout page and create a look that you want for your checkout. We have made some updates to the checkout customizer for the other templates as well, but this one, the first one here and the first one here, have a whole bunch of new options. So I highly recommend that you use one of these 2 templates. And we are going to add the same type of options to these other templates as well. But I want to show you what we have done with these 2 templates first. So I'm going to click on customize here, 2-column template. This is the one I'm going to select. All right, so you can see here, this is the new customizer. On the left side, there is a style customizer. You can adjust the width of the template. You can adjust padding, background color, border color, and all of that here. Towards the right, you will see there is template field customizer. I'll talk to you about these different options in a bit, but first I want to show you different type of elements that you can now add to your checkout. For example, let's start with this one here. This is already on the checkout. So here you can upload an image. So if you just click on it, and you can select one of the images from here. So now let me show you the different elements that you can add to your checkout. Let's start with the heading element. Say that you want to add a heading here, right here at the top of your checkout. You want to add a special message here. You can do that. And you can move it wherever you want it to show up. If you don't want it anymore, you can just click on this trash icon to get rid of it. Similarly, the subheading element, you can add a subheading element. You can add regular text and image. If you want to add an image somewhere on your checkout, you can do that too. And you can click on it and upload whatever image you want to upload, and it will show up there. You can even add a video to your checkout and wherever you want it to show up. For example, if you want to add a video here, you can. And here you can see the embed code. You can add your video embed code here. I'm going to get rid of this here. Testimonial. If you want to add a testimonial to your checkout, you can add it wherever you want it to show up, and click and edit and change the content. You can click on this image to replace the image. Now, divider. If you want to add a divider between different elements, I'm going to remove this from here. All right, so now you can see I have added a divider here. So you can select the divider element, and you can adjust the padding, and you can adjust the alignment, color, border width. Similarly, style list. If you want to add a style list here, it will look like this. If you want it to show up here, you can add it here. If you don't want it anymore, you can get rid of it. So you have so many options. You can create a checkout the way you want it to look, and you don't have to use the default look that comes with SPC. And you will also notice there is this desktop view icon and there is this mobile view icon. So this is how it's going to look on your desktop and on your mobile by default. So I'm going to go ahead and save it first. Now, if you want to create a completely different look in terms of the order of the elements where you want it to show up for your mobile users, you can change that. So click on this icon and you can see this is how it's going to look on mobile devices. And if you want to rearrange the order in which things appear on your mobile devices, you can change that. All you have to do is just drag and drop and place it wherever you want it to show up. And if you don't want a certain element just for your mobile view, you can get rid of it from there. And it will still be there in the desktop view, but you can customize a completely different look for mobile users. I'm going to go back to the desktop view now, and you can see this image is still here in the desktop view. It's just not there in the mobile view, right? Because I have created a different look for my mobile users. All right. And so the other thing you can do now is all these elements that you see here, you can adjust the position wherever you want it to show, all right? So for example, someone was asking me the other day, can I move the order details towards the top of the checkout? You can, just move it here. And whatever element you don't want to show, you can just get rid of it from there. And also this order details, you can click and edit all of this text that you see here. So you can change the font color, the font family, and all of that stuff here. And it's only going to show the VAT and the flat shipping and all that stuff in the front end, only if you have enabled it in the back end. So if in the SPC EU VAT page or in the flat shipping page, if you have enabled it, only then it's going to show up in the front end. So even though you have it here, it doesn't mean it's going to show up in the front end. It will show up only if you have configured it in the back end. Otherwise, it's only going to show the product name, the amount, and this is just a placeholder, the product A that you see here. It will be replaced by the actual product name that you have, and it will display the order total. That's it, all right? So you can move it and place it wherever you want it to show up. Like this. Now, if you want to delete a few elements from this list, and if you want to update it, you can. I'm going to delete this, and you can just click and edit and change the content. Now, you can add a testimonial right here, like this. Now, let's take a look at template fields. Say that you want to display a product header. By default, when you add it, it's going to display towards the top of your checkout, but you can move it and place it wherever you want it to show up. And also, this is just a placeholder. I'm going to just move it up here again. So this is just a placeholder. What this means is you cannot edit it here, the content of this product header. You can edit it when you create your payment button in SPC. And also, even though it's on the checkout, if you do not want to display a product header for a specific buy button, you can turn it off when you create your payment button. If you want the product header to be displayed somewhere else, then you can just move it and leave it there so that if you enable product header at buy button level, then it's going to show up in this position on your checkout. All right. So just because you have a product header here does not mean it's going to show up on the checkout. It will only show up if you enable it when you create your payment button in SPC. All right. So I'm going to remove the product header. If you want to allow users different payment options to purchase your product, then you can do that. And again, this is just an image, just a placeholder, just so you can move it and place it wherever you want it to show up. That's all this does here. You cannot edit the content here. You can edit it when you create your payment button in SPC. And again, just because it's on your checkout, just because it shows up here, it does not mean it's going to show up in the front end. It will only show up in the front end if when you create your payment button in SPC, you have enabled it. All right. So only if you enable it at buy button level, it'll show up on the checkout. Otherwise, this will not show up in the front end. Now let's take a look at order bump. Same thing with order bump. You can create your order bump in the order bump page. You can design it. You can customize it there. And then when you create your payment button, you can add one or more order bump to your payment button. And where it shows up on the checkout, that can be controlled here. So you can see here it's enabled here, the order bump offer right here. But if you want to place it somewhere else, you can just move it wherever you want it to show up on your checkout. So this is just for display purposes, just so you can place it where you want it to show up in the front end, but the actual content can be customized in the order bump page. And same thing with coupons. So say that you want to allow users to enter a coupon code on the checkout. It's going to show up here by default. If you want to move it to some other place, you can. Now, again, just because you have the coupon code here does not mean it will show up in the front end. It will only show up in the front end if, when you create your payment button, you say, yes, I want to display the coupon code in the front end. All right, so you can always turn it on and off at buy button level. You can customize the content at buy button level. So these 5 fields that you see here, these are just here so you can place it where you want it to show up in the front end. But the actual customization and whether or not you want it to display in the front end, you can control it when you create your payment button in SPC. If you want to collect billing information, shipping information, you can just toggle the switch and you can add the fields that you want to display in the front end, and only those fields will show up in the front end. All right, you can see it here. And everything is click and edit. You can change the text to whatever you want it to say, and you can also move it. If you want it to show up somewhere else in a different position, you can move it. The custom fields, if you add custom fields in DApp and you want it to show up in the front end, you can enable custom fields and you can select the fields that you want to display on your checkout page. And users can enter a value for the custom fields. It will get stored in DApp and you can find all the information related to the custom fields in DApp. So now I'm going to create a payment button in SPC and connect it to this checkout and show you what it looks like in the front end. Now you cannot access the checkout page by itself, because if you try to access this page by itself, it will not know what product is being sold there. So checkout page should not be accessed by itself, but you should create a payment button, any one of these type of buttons, and connect it to the checkout. This way the checkout page will know what product is being sold there. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and create a payment button, a buy now button for one of my products, and connect it to this checkout and show you how it looks in the front end. So this is the SPC buy button page. I have already created a payment button. Let me just show you my settings. So give your button a name, select the product for which you're creating the payment button, pricing details, you can select currency. You can also attach payment plans. So if you want to give users multiple ways, multiple payment options, you can say yes here and add different pricing options. And everything that you see here is click and edit. You can change it. And product header, if you want to attach a product header to your checkout, you can do that. And here you can edit the content. I'm going to turn this off. And if you want to offer an order bump, you can connect it here. You can attach more than one order bump to your checkout. So here I have created an order bump in the order bump page. I have customized it. So you can see it shows up here. You can see the preview here. And I have just selected this order bump. This will show up on my checkout. And you can add multiple order bumps here. Next, purchase using credits is showing this option because I have Game of Points activated on this site. Game of Points is a gamification plugin for DApp. So if you want to allow users to purchase using credits, you can do that if you have this plugin active. All right, coupon code. So if you want to display a coupon code on your checkout, you can set this to yes. If you don't want it, you can set this to no. So I will leave it as yes. Now checkout page. Now SPC will allow you to create as many checkout pages as you want. You can do that here. And when you create your payment buttons in SPC, you can connect it to any one of your checkout pages. So this is the new checkout page that I just created. So I'm going to connect this button to this checkout. I want to sell this product on this checkout. All right, so you can see here, this is a preview of the checkout. Next, landing page where you want users to be sent after they complete the purchase. You can specify that here. If you have an upsell funnel that you can create in SPC manage funnel page, if you have one, you can connect it to your funnel. And that's it, your button is ready. So this is the link, and you can connect this link to your payment button that you have on your sales page. So when someone clicks on the payment button on your sales page, they will land on a checkout page powered by SPC, and this is where they will be sent. So now let me show you what this looks like in the front end. All right, you can see here, this is the checkout page in the front end. This is what it looks like. And you can see the pricing information under order details. So now you can move around things. If you want coupon code to display here, you can move it here. If you want order bump to be displayed here, you can move it here. If you want to increase the width of this template, you can do that. So let's go ahead and do that, and let me show you what it looks like. So this is the back end, and under the template style, I'm going to increase the width. I'm going to go ahead and save it. All right, so I have refreshed this page, and you can see here, I have increased the width of this template, and this is what it looks like now. As you can see, there are so many different options. There are so many different possibilities, and you can make the checkout page your own. You can design it however you want it to look. I look forward to your feedback on this new customizer and all the other updates we have made to SPC in this release. I hope this was helpful. My name is Veena Prashant. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.